What's up, world? Patrick Feliciano here, producer, singer, songwriter.
I'm the BulBey. I'm an all-around songwriter of any sorts. I love music, and certainly a creative collaborator in different spaces. You know, content creator, marketing, all that good stuff. I just dive right in and I have fun with whatever I'm working on.
So how did we meet? Pretty simple. I was working on some tracks, and we actually have a mutual friend. I was recording out of a studio in South Philly where he was at, where he was engineering, and in order to help me through my process, he said that he was bringing a very talented individual to the studio to assist with basically just moving all the tracks forward, because I have beat block and song block and writing block all the time. So
Locked up.
Yeah, basically on the block. And he said that he was gonna bring a very talented individual to help me, and that person happened to be the BulBey.
I get a phone call, from the mutual friend, and it was super random. And he's kind of like, no disrespect, kind of eccentric a little bit. So his explanation didn't register. All I knew though was like to show up at a studio, and we would like work on some songwriting. And so I was like, I'm really down with that. A friend of mine kind of tipped me into the direction of writing more, because I do a lot of melodic things sometimes, and along with the rapping. And so I just popped up. Didn't really know what to expect. There wasn't really much of a...
There really wasn't a script on how we were gonna do this. We literally just I was already at the studio, and and then Bay showed up, and it just became the beautiful thing it is right now. As I had mentioned in another segment that I did before, there's a certain energy that I feel artists and producers, creators, need to have with the project that they're working with the people they're working with, in order for it to just come together the way it should. And I had somebody else that had a verse on that song, and then Bay also put another verse on it, and I had to choose between the two. And I honestly, deep in my heart, as soon as I heard his verse, I knew it was the right one. And that hasn't happened too often in my career where I'm just like, that's the one, because usually I'm thinking about things a lot. But I knew it was the right one, and from then on I was like, okay, this is serious. We could definitely make some killer banging records. And I still feel that way today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, stepping into that session was one of those things where I didn't know what to expect. I think Pat kind of came in with a bright energy. You know what I mean? He was like super excited and just into everything, and it kind of rubbed off. And like, especially when he played the beats and the music, it was fire. It was just dope as hell from track to track too. I think there was a project or some kind of idea that was being crafted at the time, and we just kind of jumped in and put a pin to it a little bit, and it kind of it really fell into place in a real organic way. It was just like
that's huge too. And not to cut him off, but natural is the word that I like to use a lot. When you're doing something, it should be done naturally. You shouldn't have to force anything, because forced art is just weird.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important to work with people that get the best out of you.
Absolutely.
Once again, going back to synergy, going back to the natural connection. It's all about connection.
Yeah. No, the story behind Cheesesteak Special. My side of the story, you're gonna have his. So that first session where we first initially met, a lot of music was played. And if I recall, I remember that beat being played, right? It's such a aggressive and loud, sonic space where it's like, holy, what was that? Just one of those like things where it's like, all right, what do we do with this? And in any case,
the energy was there.
Yeah, right.
And the energy was there. It was just we didn't, as far as the direction of the actual record,
So Pat essentially was like, go ahead, do your thing with this. We kind of had an idea of where we wanted to go with it, and we kind of like scrapped essentially what was there, and so I had this blank slate to work with, and I did my best to match the performative nature of the track. I mean, you press play on this thing and it just starts off like, you know what I mean, like
horns,
and it's just one of those things where I realized I was in about essentially with the beat, and I was like, I gotta match this level of energy, unapologetic nature, and just extreme like audacity. Like there's a lot of audacity in the track, and so it was like the best of both worlds for me. I really got to get like lost in the writing process and really just kind of tap into ignorant shit that I want to say all the time, like, you know what I mean?
And you did that.
Yeah, right. And so I just kind of like went off in that direction, and it really just kind of fell into place. And to me, that's the best kind of stuff, when it's not forced, it feels natural, and it felt good. You know what I mean?
But it took a little bit of persuasion from Bey's part to keep letting me listen to the record until I finally realized that he's onto something. Like it doesn't have to be massive. Like this could be for the city of Philadelphia. What is more Philly than a cheesesteak? You know, like I don't know.
And I had a vision. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It was a partial vision. You know, actually, when I was making this song and the other ones as well, I had this little campaign that I was doing called #SummerBey.
That's right.
And I was putting out a song a month throughout the 3-month summer season that Philly has. And so I put out a song in June, July, and this was actually going to be for August. But when it all came together, I kind of stopped and was like, we got something here. You know what I mean? And I kind of started to see, you know, the t-shirts. I started to see, you know, the packaging. I started to understand that this could really become a part of the fabric of the musical landscape in Philadelphia. Like when you think of Philly in particular songs, obviously some kind of like generic cheesy ones pop up, like Eye of the Tiger or the Rocky Balboa one. But then you have some more meaningful songs that we all know and love, like, you know, Music Soul Child's Love, or The Sunny. Like that is very much a part of the Philly landscape, just as much as, like, you know, Jill Scott, anything from Jill Scott really. But, you know, I'm here, your please, I really dig your company. Like, Long Walk is like very much a part of the Philadelphia cultural soundscape.
Motown Philly.
You know? Yeah, all that stuff. And so to me, I wanted Cheesesteak to kind of like hit in that way. And I know it's pretty loud. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily fit the actual aesthetic of those other songs I mentioned. But in my mind, I'm like, this song can be played halftime at a Sixers game.
This record has that side to it, has that aspect to it, the aggressive part of Philly, and that's not to take away from the soulful part, because that's always going to be there. That's always associated with us. I
was gonna say, if I could keep it a beam with you too, like, you know, obviously it has these elements of Philly, you know, even like a little bit of South Jersey and other parts with the scrapple. But I wanted this song to very much exist and be in other spaces as well. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, things that are wrapped up in regional things get national platforms and get national, you know, airtime. And I feel like this song could definitely, in any case, like, long story less long, we made a dope song, and instead of just shoving it out onto SoundCloud, I was like, let's like see what we could do with this. And that's when the creative wheels started turning about how we could properly have that dialogue with the surrounding space.
So once again, I'm Patrick Feliciano, producer, artist, singer, songwriter, and I actually just created a segment, was it 3 weeks ago, called Sarap Sundays. Every Sunday, something brand new from me. So please tune in, and it's only gonna get better as each episode continues. I'm on Instagram at @TheRealPatrickF. I just started my YouTube channel as well, so youtube.com/PatrickFeliciano. I'm also on SoundCloud and Facebook as well, Patrick Feliciano. Website coming soon.
Yeah. Alright, so Cheesesteak Special, it is streaming right this second on all the digital streaming platforms. Extraordinary is streaming right now this second on all the digital streaming platforms. You can follow me on IG and really on any social media you have. It's always going to be the BulBey. Everything at the BulBey. TheBulBey.com for sure. Check that out. So it's TheBulBey. BulBey, the BulBey. Again, that's on all social media. I got a show coming up here in Philadelphia, 11th and Chestnut, August 16th, 8 p.m. By all means, fall through. It's going to be a good time. Trying to be real busy this summer, running all over the place. And Pat and I are forever cooking up. If anything, I feel like
got some dang things.
Yeah, but I feel like with the promotion of the song Cheesesteak Special, like I've been pulled away from like being locked in a little bit. So I'm definitely anxious to get right back into the studio. We got joints all over the place. Shouts out to Capilli.
Yeah.
We got something locked in with him. We just
little club banger.
Yeah, we ready though. We ready to
shout out to Max too, cause
absolutely,
cause Max part of that.
Yeah, man. Wow, Warehouse on Watts. But
sir.
we just locked in and ready to kind of take on whatever. This is kind of like a sample size, and really that should cue you into what we're thinking and what we're doing and how we're trying, what direction we're headed into. We just really trying to slap the shit out of the world.